Hello everyone and welcome to Building the Ultimate Matchbox Car Collection. My name is Tyrone, and the gold box, as you may or may not know, means it's a show and tell episode. So we'll get ourselves organised. Let me delete it all, come over there, and a bit of a clue to what might be in this box. I've brought out some support vehicles for a bit of context. And we'll take a little peek. So the first thing I picked up during the week was a very old 5-pack. This one is from copyright 2013, so 2014 release, 6 years ago now. Fairly familiar tread plate pattern on it. A little bit of artwork. That would be the MBX 4x4 there. In fact, they don't call it the MBX 4x4, do they? That's actually another casting. But whatever they call it, it's not a licensed vehicle. But what else do we have? I'm not going to open this, so we have to look through the shiny window. Try and manage the reflection. That could have been in my fire truck lineup the other week. An ambulance. And that really strange looking fella down there. And 2 ambulances. So I'll have to do a little bit of research on that one, because these are fairly unfamiliar to me, these castings. It's looking pretty good on the big wheels though. So yeah, that's the first bit. Now the rest of it's quite curious because they're all the same, and they're not something you would normally get many of. This is, of course, the Peterbilt cement mixer with a twist. This is ready mix concrete, which I think is only an Australian company. Maybe I'm wrong. I checked Matchbox Wiki and Fandom, which is basically on the same site, the Fandom Wiki or Wiki Fandom, I don't know how it's said. And there's no mention of this one, whereas there is mention of everything else I have in fairly good detail. But as I like to do, I purchased all of these off the one seller. It was a old chap on the other side of town. But these things always seem to be on the other side of town. Nothing's down the road, is it? It's got to be an hour and a half round trip, and you always think to yourself, gee, this better be worth it, and you sit in traffic for so long. But this, I think, was worth it. I knew what I was getting into, brief amount of messaging to and from, that they are all the same. There are some long trucks in the wings, but we'll get to those in a second. Realise on my ramblings. Yeah, the chap was a owner of a toy store in the late 80s, and he said he's got a lot of stuff, but the other things weren't readily available for me to look at, so there will probably be another trip across town to his place when he's ready to sell, or has time to organise everything he's willing to sell. So we'll deal with these first before we get to the big rigs. I remember in a previous video saying how I have a lot of stand-in vehicles, and a stand-in vehicle in my collection is something that represents what I want but isn't in very good condition, like this one. it's exactly the same thing, so we can have a little bit of a look at it. I might unbox one of these new ones as well today, because I do need one loose for the collection, a mint one. So this is made in Thailand, 1981 copyright, but these boxes are late 80s, and they do say 89 on them, so let's go for that. Where do we say? Thailand. These trucks are built in various places. They started out England, then went Macau, then Thailand, then China, and then they stopped making them. So tell you what I'll do. You can sit there for a bit, so the vision is less wobbly. I'll bring down the turntable, see if it all fits in shot. Does that look alright? Find the switch. How's that? Yeah, we'll go with that. So I've labelled all the ones in the tray because I have a memory like a sieve. So back in 82, this one came out on a nice screen, and we'll have a look to see if we can see. This is Macau with the orange drum. And we've got Big Pete on the side. You'll notice the driver is sitting behind the wheel in a very chrome outfit. And then 85 through 88, this one came along, and this is quick set cement. Like that. And then I'm not sure what happened between 88 and 96, apart from the pink one I just bought the dust off. But in 96, this one, made in China, came along. Very nice. Oops. Not sure everything sits flush. And then 99, they had a bit of a brain spasm and put this one out. Again, made in China. They didn't bother chroming anything. They didn't, well, we'll cut it short. They didn't bother. It seemed like they were going as cheap as possible, and then subsequently stopped making them, which is a bit sad because it's a really nice casting. When they try, looks great. And of course, the Peterbilt, as we'll see in a second, came out in what the Americans call a tractor, which is in Australia just a truck. There's always a little bit of confusion on terminology, isn't there, between countries. What the Americans call a truck, we call a ute, and what the English call a lorry and the Americans call a tractor, we call a truck. So, go figure. I've got a double of the blue one, and I don't mind getting doubles of this because I'm really quite fond of this casting. See if we can finally destroy this poor old turntable before it is replaced. And that's all on the concrete mixers I have. I'll briefly look at the other styles of the Peterbilt truck. Tell me in the comments, if you're in America, is this a truck and the ute is still a truck, or what do you call this? Because we call it a truck, the English call it a lorry. So clear that one up for me. Where are we? So the tanker version, this one of 1985. I think I've done a video of trucks before, and this wound up on a turntable at some point. Ampol is an Australian brand called, from memory, Australian Motorists Petroleum, and apparently they don't exist at the moment, but apparently they will make a comeback. So very iconic Australian petrol supplier, or gas. And this one made in Macau. Where was that one made, by the way? Macau as well. So this one, unfamiliar to me as a company, but Amoco, same sort of thing, isn't it? Probably a petrol company, gas company. And then straight into the dump trucks. That's the original of 1982, made in Macau. So, yeah. So they've all gone with the 1981 copyright, I think. Where's the later one? Latest one. Can't read that one, so we'll go to this one. Yeah, they've all gone for the 1981 base by the looks. See if I can read that one. Yep, all 1981 copyright on the base. And then, so that was 82 through 84. And then 85 through 94, I went with that one. Similar but not the same. And I've got a double of the next one. So actually I'll put those in order. And the one I've got two of is Thailand produced. And that one there is 95 and 96. See a little bit of age wear on the chrome. Maybe that's what they were trying to avoid when they were pumping out those ones. But prefer it when they finish them properly. So that's those two. Oops. And then we've got the tow truck. This was the original Peterbilt tow truck of 82 through 84, the police livery. And fast forward, because I don't have the in-betweeners. No, beg your pardon, wrong sticker. That was 83, close. Right in the middle of the 82 and 84 I said before. So that's 83, and then fast forward to 86 through 89, same bit different. Still police, but the orange boom instead of the black. And we've got a shield or a star on the door. And throughout we've had a driver behind the wheel. So it's the history of it all. Should we put that? Yeah, we'll put that up there for a second. And bring you back over here for a better view. Bring the stand in, ready to be fired. And I suppose we should pick a box that deserves to be open. But they're all perfect actually. None of them have been punched through for the peg, because the racking system they had in the 80s was a little carousel thing with plastic coated wire shelves, wasn't it? There's no pegs. So even if they were out on the shop floor, which I doubt, there's no reason to punch the peg hole. Oh, we'll go for that one because I can see the sticker on the drum very clearly. I'll open it as carefully as possible, but that looks good. That's very good actually. Yeah, that hasn't been doctored up at all, which is nice to see. Very small amount of glue on this particular box, so no ripping of cardboard. Yeah, see the difference? The one on the left, centre, the one on the left has obviously been displayed either on a shelf, although I doubt it, probably in a glass cabinet. In a bright room, doesn't even need to be sunlight. Over so many years, the UV just wrecks everything that is plastic, and especially everything that's white. White does not filter UV at all. They're both made in the same place. So this is Thailand, the old one, and the new one is still Thailand. So as far as I know, it's an Australian thing, the ready mix, but I could be wrong. It's happened before. But either way, this one goes to the tip. Well, I don't put cars in the tip. I'll give it away or I'll do something with it. But I have the perfect article for the collection, which I'm happy with. Complete with a perfect sticker. And third one, should we make some room or it's in the shot? Is the same company but in the big rig, and these are of the style that are not glued. So I'm wondering if this has ever been opened either. I guess we'll find out. Doesn't feel like it has. It feels like it's never been bent back in its 31-year life. Oh, I see. Yeah, this cardboard feels very stiff and new. The guy said to me, "Oh, do you own a shop?" I said, "No," and he had a vacant, expectant look on his face as if I was supposed to finish my answer, which I didn't, so we just moved on with the conversation. Does that tilt? Oh, look. I don't want to bend it too back, I'll snap it maybe. But look at that. That's neat. It's really neat. It's inviting you to go out into the yard and fill it up with dirt, isn't it? Wow. I don't think this was ever out of the box, even though they could have. Just the flap ends. See if I can read that. Thailand. Yeah. Can you see? And we have the guy behind the wheel in grey, same as the exhaust stack. So we have plastic and metal. The 8-spoke wheels. The 8-spoke wheels were pretty much on everything Matchbox in the 80s, probably from, I don't know, not that early in the 80s, maybe 81, 82. And all the way through they love these wheels because they suit almost everything, so that's what they used them on. That's great. 30-year-old toy, and it looks like it was made yesterday. So, and I've got 3 of those from him. Box is slightly dusty, but that one's got a small dent, 2 small dents that they might push out from the other side. So that was my little purchase for the week. Balance those 2 up there. Put him in the background for the end shot. So it looks all very spectacular. Get rid of the box. Should we put the old guy in for his last moment. Yeah, it was well worth the effort. So that wraps up this show and tell. I hope you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Click the like button and tell me what you think. But until then, bye bye.